I don't like Pinocchio because that wooden puppet transitions into a real boy.
In this video, John Iadarola of The Damage Report takes a look at Bill Burr's always sharp, always funny commentary on the Snow White movie that's recently gotten conservatives so up at the state of America in general. Why don't we watch this clip together and I'll have some thoughts, and then I want to know what you think in the comments.
Bill Burr is not holding back his criticisms on how America is going these days. On his podcast, he went on a little bit of a rant and he tied in some of the online controversy in the area of pop culture. Take a look.
I'll tell you one of my favorite things is how each side thinks the other side is dumb, and then each side thinks the other side's a bunch of babies. Specifically, the right thinks that liberals are a bunch of snowflakes, whiny, entitled, which, I mean, come on. That's pretty true, right? But like for conservative people to act like they're not the biggest babies also is hilarious.
So I think he's definitely onto something. And I love this because we have been pointing out, especially in the area of pop culture, movie casting, TV shows, all of that. They cannot wait to freak out and break down about it. Every conservative pundit, the independent right-wing media or whatever, spends like half their time crying themselves raw over the fact that like a black person's in something or a movie's about a woman. I mean, this isn't even like snowflake material. It's worse than that. It's almost like a fetish. It's like a humiliation thing where the audience likes seeing these grown men whine and complain, and they do it for money. It's strange. But Bill Burr, he's better at expressing this sort of thing. So I'll let him take it away. He's gonna talk about Cinderella. He's gonna talk about all this pop culture stuff happening. Let's see.
My people, Whitey, we're all upset. There's enough of us to get it going, trending anyway. We're upset about the new Cinderella movie. The actress playing Cinderella isn't white. There's no prince. They changed the story. What am I going to tell my kids? The shit that my people get upset about. What am I going to tell my kids? Well, talk around it the way you do we talk around the real history of this country. I think you can do that. You can talk around genocide and slavery. I think you can talk around a stupid movie about some broad who didn't exist. You can't do that? Go take him to go see Pinocchio. I don't like Pinocchio because that wooden puppet transitions into a real boy. First of all, I don't like trans people, and God only makes real boys, not some immigrant named Geppetto. What am I supposed to tell my kids?
Okay, to fact check that, I think Geppetto's in his home country there. That's the only issue I have with what Bill Burr said, is I'm not sure he's an immigrant. But anyway, that was very funny about Pinocchio. And he is clearly talking about Snow White there. Although, like, if they do a Cinderella movie and they recast it, it'll be the exact sort of performative crying yourself, peeing yourself, falling apart, all of that stuff. And so, yeah, how do you say the other side is easily triggered? The other side is a snowflake when you can't take Rachel Zegler being in Snow White or whatever. Like, look, if it gets cast and everybody's cool, and then the movie comes out and it's bad or whatever, you can complain that a movie's not good. You can do that. That's I believe in free speech. I'm not Elon Musk or whatever. I think you should be able to do that. But like, maybe you can let the movie come out before you do that. It's not real, you know? And also, you don't have to see it. And let me just go so far as to say, and not a single one of the pundits freaking out about it and tweeting about it saw it, okay? By the way, I didn't see it. I'm not particularly interested in Snow White. I don't see most of these Disney live action movies. That's just like a choice you can make.
Man, that is so true. Like, I see comments on here commenting about how I'm a guy making comments on a guy who's making comments on a guy. And, you know, I tend to post a link to Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham. But, you know, so you don't have to watch this either if that's the way, if that bothers you. But I haven't seen Snow White. I'm probably not gonna. John Iadarola hasn't seen Snow White. I don't know if Bill Burr has seen Snow White. I'm certain all of these people who are commenting out on from the right haven't seen Snow White. it starts to feel like it's just another room in crazy land where we find ourselves. But just the very idea of it has them so up in arms.
But it's super weird when not only are you freaking out about it, but you also aren't even seeing it. Like, again, that is performative. We've already used that term, but it's important that we point it out, because why would that be a thing? Why would all of these, the Daily Wire, Daily Caller, whatever, why would they all feel like my audience needs to see me pissing my pants over this? Why would that be a core part of their business model? And I think it's strange. And I'm glad that someone like Bill Burr now is repeatedly coming back to this. I think that this is a conversation we need to have, because I've been saying for a long time, America's men actually are in a bit of a crisis. We are facing some issues. And I think one of the main issues is following weak ass guys like this. Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I love him, by the way. He invited me on his podcast, and my Republican friend said, "Oh, it's probably spam. Don't answer it." Why did I listen to him? Okay, I love him. I think I will. Because, here's what, John, they don't need to see it. They don't need to see it because any change equals anti-white supremacy, okay? So they have to notify people immediately. Those emails that come in urgent, high importance, I think it is. That's why, okay? Never mind that I'm brown and have a brown kid, and that my mother and her father had to go into Philadelphia at one store and look for a brown doll when she was a child, okay? And for other things, because they weren't allowed to go many other places. They don't even think about my kid. What are you going to tell your kid? Some of us are old enough that we just went and like fools were indoctrinated by this thing called Snow White, which is ridiculous as well, okay? We lived it. They should probably retire all the Disney stuff and not even do remakes, because they're all built on really bad stereotypes, okay? Just saying. Yeah. But it's just, you don't even see yourself. You just want to go with they not like us, okay, with a Kendrick beat under it. You know what? We have feelings too.
Yeah, people are talking about they do this literally every time. So for Wicked, like Cynthia Erivo, they freaked out about. Yep. Oops, she was great. Like, hey, maybe she's just really talented or whatever. Like, and maybe you'd know that if you'd watched her in previous stuff. But no, you think you should prejudge work of hers you haven't seen yet when you've chosen not to familiarize yourself with the work she's already done. What do you know? You were really wrong, not only about the end result in terms of its quality, but it also made like $10 billion or whatever. Again, when you are racist, when you are homophobic and transphobic, I know that they see that as like a badge of honor. It is just willful brain damage. You cannot accurately see what's going on and evaluate what is going to happen. And as I keep saying, it's not a good thing to be dumb. Don't choose to be dumb in these particular ways. And let's also just briefly acknowledge that while the fact that she's not white is more than enough for most of these people to freak out about it, it could also be that she has said things that they don't agree with in the past. So she, at one point, had said that the movie had some elements that were outdated and should be updated. Nope, can't do that. Obviously, it's unacceptable. It is politically incorrect to imply that anything should ever evolve. These same people also say that movies are too repetitive, but you're not supposed to change them. Also, if we bring up graphic 3, she at one point tweeted "Free Palestine." Nope, sorry, you've got to be canceled. You can't be hired onto any movies. You are unacceptable. We will attack you. We will, organize online mobs to try to drive you out if you express these political views that we consider to be unacceptable. In a free society that values free expression and free speech, you would just say, I disagree with Rachel Zegler, but that's not enough for these people. They only can tolerate speech that they directly agree with.
Truth. And I will also add to that applies all across what we're seeing in the political. We have sitting senators, sitting Congress people now lying through their teeth about the weaponization of the justice system, about the number of illegal immigrants who are voting and collecting. All of this is just bald-faced lies. It's not spin anymore. It's not half-truths. It is the opposite. It is every accusation is a confession. It's just insane. And let me know what you think in the comments.